The sky above the rock of eternity churned with unnatural fury. Within its inner sanctum, far from the eyes of men and gods, an exiled sorcerer named Kalzor bent reality to his will. His voice echoed ancient syllables, weaving a spell meant to absorb residual power left behind by the shattered council of eternity. But his ambition outpaced his understanding. As the ritual climaxed, the walls of existence trembled. Across the dimensional veil, in the kingdom of Eternia, Prince Adam had only just transformed. One moment, he stood beneath the twin moons of his realm, clutching the sword of power. The next, without warning, a rift tore open in the sky like a gaping wound. A blinding surge of arcane light engulfed him, and he vanished. Thunder cracked across the barren canyons bordering Kahndaq. In a flash of searing light, He-Man crashed into the sands like a meteor, carving a long trench through the earth. Nomads scattered. Camels shrieked. Silence followed, until the ground trembled again. From the black clouds above, a figure descended like divine judgment, Black Adam. Cloak rippling, eyes burning with ancient might. His boots touched the ground soundlessly, yet the air around him crackled with menace. He studied the stranger, a muscular warrior with golden gauntlets, a glowing sword, and the aura of a demigod. Not from Earth, not of any pantheon he knew. "You've trespassed into my land," Black Adam said coldly, his voice like thunder behind a storm cloud. "Speak your name, or be silenced forever." He-Man rose to his full height, brushing sand off his chest plate. His sword pulsed with energy. "I am He-Man, champion of Eternia. I don't know how I got here, but I mean no harm." "Champion?" Adam narrowed his eyes. "Of which god? Or are you one of Shazam's failed experiments?" "I'm not your enemy," He-Man said firmly, "but I won't be threatened either." That was all Adam needed. With a flash of yellow lightning, he hurled himself forward. The two titans collided in an explosive shockwave that shook the canyon walls. He-Man blocked a thunderous punch with his sword, sending sparks flying as Adam's enchanted fist met divine steel. They exchanged a flurry of strikes, each blow enough to crush mountains. He-Man grunted as Adam's lightning slammed into his shielded arm, hurling him backward. He hit a sandstone cliff and burst through it like a wrecking ball. Adam advanced, floating above the dust. "You are powerful, but not enough." He-Man burst from the rubble, hurling his sword like a spinning blade of light. Adam caught it midair, but it sent him crashing into the canyon floor with a tremor that split the earth. Before the fight could continue, a loud rumble shattered the moment. The sky above them crackled violently, an aftershock of the unstable ritual that brought He-Man here. From the heavens, a bolt of red lightning struck the horizon. The very fabric of space shimmered. Reality buckled again. Suddenly, the ground beneath both warriors collapsed. The earth, torn from beneath by the magical instability, separated them with a collapsing sinkhole. He-Man leapt back on a higher ground. Adam hovered midair, eyes narrowing. "This isn't over," Adam growled. "I don't think it ever started," He-Man replied. Far from the battleground, within the ancient temple of Chem, an old priest stirred. Dust fell from scrolls untouched for millennia. One particular prophecy burned with renewed life. When two champions of divided realms clash, the scales of existence shall tip. One must fall, or both worlds shall drown in chaos. He-Man was found by desert nomads and brought to a nearby oasis. They had seen him fall from the sky and whispered tales of the old gods. He listened, slowly piecing together the gravity of what had happened. The strange land, the burning skies, the wrathful protector who ruled with godlike strength. Meanwhile, Black Adam returned to Kahndaq, standing silently at the peak of his obsidian palace. His fists were still charged with magic. His pride was bruised, but more than that, his instincts were unsettled. The stranger had matched him, perhaps even surpassed him in raw strength. That was not something he tolerated lightly. Later that night, the voice of an ancient wizard echoed in Adam's chamber, an apparition of a forgotten mentor. "The one you fought. He is not born of this realm. He carries the power of Grayskull, the last light of Eternia. But he does not belong here. If you do not defeat him, your world and his will fracture." Adam stood still, eyes locked on the stars. Then I will finish what I started. At the same time, He-Man stood at the edge of a ruined shrine in the desert, staring up at a statue of forgotten gods with broken faces. "I don't know why I'm here," he whispered, "but if this world is in danger because of me, then I must end this." The drums of challenge began to beat, old rhythms, echoing across the land, summoning both champions to a place where ancient warriors once clashed, the ruins of Babylon, a battlefield carved in history. And so, the challenge was cast. The storm was coming. The ancient city of Babylon stood in haunting silence. Its ziggurats, broken and crumbled, whispered stories of forgotten kings and gods long buried beneath sand and time. Tonight, it would bear witness to a battle, not written in any scroll, a clash between two champions from worlds apart. The wind howled, dust rose like ghosts from the earth, and then lightning split the sky. Black Adam descended like a judgment from the heavens, eyes glowing with arcane fury. His cloak snapped in the wind as he hovered above the crumbling ruins, surveying the field. The memories of their first clash clawed at his pride. Across the battlefield, from behind a shattered column of stone, a figure stepped into the dying light. He-Man, glowing with the power of Grayskull, sword in hand, jaw set with quiet determination. Neither spoke. They didn't need to. A crack of thunder erupted as Black Adam struck first, launching toward He-Man with speed faster than sound. His fist, glowing with the energy of 6 gods, collided with He-Man's blade mid-swing, creating a shockwave that flattened nearby structures. He-Man retaliated, planting his feet and pushing Adam back with a mighty uppercut that cracked the air. Black Adam spiraled but recovered midair, blasting a bolt of enchanted lightning that struck He-Man square in the chest. The champion of Eternia grunted but held his ground, sword sizzling from the energy. He spun, slashing a column that toppled toward Adam. But the Kahndaq warrior obliterated it mid-fall with a shout of Shazam, lightning bursting outward in a halo of destruction. The battle turned savage. They fought through the ruins, gods clashing among relics of men. Fist against fist, steel against storm. Every blow shook the foundations of the world. The sky wept fire. Statues crumbled. Rivers turned to steam. Adam unleashed magical barges, teleporting behind He-Man and striking with bursts of divine power. But He-Man, wounded, scorched, and battered, kept rising. He parried a thunder punch and struck Adam's jaw with the pommel of his sword, staggering the demigod for the first time. "You won't break me," He-Man growled. "You already are broken," Adam hissed, summoning lightning again. The final moments neared. Black Adam soared into the sky, arms raised, and channeled an enormous surge of celestial lightning, enough to disintegrate a mountain. "You face the fury of eternity," he roared. He-Man stood beneath him, drawing every last reserve of power from the sword of Grayskull. The blade began to glow, a fierce, blinding white, and as the lightning descended, He-Man raised his sword and caught it. For a moment, time stood still. Lightning met steel. Magic met willpower. The sword of power absorbed the energy, trembled, then exploded with radiant fury. He-Man charged forward, sword now humming with redirected lightning, and leapt with the fury of a god. For Grayskull, his blade met Black Adam's chest in midair. The impact hurled them both across the battlefield. Adam crashed into a ruined wall, buried in rubble. He-Man landed hard but rose slowly, coughing and bleeding, his sword flickering with fading energy. Dust settled. Silence. Then movement. Black Adam staggered to his feet, broken, breathing heavily. But his knees buckled, and he fell to one knee. He looked up at He-Man, his pride shattered but his defiance intact. "You fought like a king," he rasped. He-Man lowered his blade. "And you fought like a storm." Adam smirked faintly before slumping unconscious. It was over. The storm above faded. The lightning ceased. For the first time in hours, the skies cleared, and the stars above Babylon shone again. He-Man stood alone among the ruins, the final champion. Not because he was the most ruthless, not because he was the most powerful, but because he never fought to win. He fought to protect.